Now, you've set off quite a firestorm here with both McCain and Obama coming out and rejecting your comments. First, let me play the comments at issue from CBS yesterday.
I certainly honor his service as a prisoner of war. He was a hero to me and to hundreds of thousands, millions of others in the armed forces as a prisoner of war. He has been a voice on the Senate Armed Services Committee, and he has traveled all over the world. But he hasn't held executive responsibility. That large squadron in the Navy that he commanded, it wasn't a wartime squadron. He hasn't been there and ordered the bombs to fall. He hasn't seen what it's like when diplomats come in and say, I don't know whether we're going to be able to get this point through or not. Do you want to take the risk? What about your reputation? How do we handle it publicly? He hasn't made those calls.
Well, General, maybe could I just interrupt you? If you're
sure.
I have to say Barack Obama has not had any of those experiences either, nor has he ridden in a fighter plane and gotten shot down. I mean,
well, I don't think riding in a fighter plane and getting shot down is a qualification to be president.
All right, that's the one that ended up being the real zinger, General. And as a result, a lot of response here. Admiral Leighton Smith has said General Clark is way off base on this one. Lieutenant Commander Carl Smith says it reflects, quote, extremely bad judgment. Senator Warner saying he was shocked. Former Reagan National Security Advisor Robert McFarland saying it may be part of a larger gambit. Bob Dole says you should have stayed in bed on Sunday. What's your response?
Well, first of all, Dan, thanks for having me on. I don't want to do anything to take away from this very important week where Barack Obama, the man I support to be president, is talking about patriotism and service. But I do appreciate the chance to be on. Now, I wasn't representing the Obama campaign in anything I said yesterday about John McCain. Those are comments I've said for some weeks now. They've been repeated many times. I think I once previously on your show, perhaps. But I have said them on many occasions, and I think it's an important point that we understand that this is an issue about the qualifications to be president. National security is going to be a very important element of this campaign, and people are going to be asking who can best protect America. But I want to assure you, I would never, never diss someone's service. When people choose to serve in uniform, I honor it. And Dan, I came home from Vietnam on a stretcher. I was shot. I took a burst of AK. I got 4 rounds. I was in 3 different hospitals and finally got home and eventually recovered and went on to serve. So I think I know a little bit about what it's like to honor men and women who serve in uniform. And I do, and I would never dismiss somebody. So I think, you know, there's a lot of tempest here, but I think we need to get on with the major issues of the campaign. I think we need to listen to Barack Obama as he defines patriotism and talks about the big issues facing this country.
You mentioned that you said it before. We'd actually gone back to see if you'd said it on our show before. I think that the part that has really gotten people, which I don't think you have said before, was the part about riding in a fighter plane and getting shot down effectively is not a qualification for president. I think that's the line that has been the most controversial. Are you sorry you said it?
It's a great line. I didn't make it up. It was given to me by the interviewer. And I don't think it's a great line in terms of conveying. It's too bad that I wish people hadn't misinterpreted that and lost sight of the important point. But I think, you know, we need to get on to the important point here about what are the qualifications to be president. Serving the armed forces is a great thing. It's a great gift to the country, and it shows commitment. And particularly if you're in combat, it can show courage, and John McCain showed all of that. On the other hand, it depends on what your position was in the armed forces and what you did there as to how relevant that service is to the strategic decision-making that is the essence of protecting the United States as president. And that was the point I was making.
Does it show anything, though, about John McCain's character, that he had the opportunity to leave and he didn't, that he gave of himself for his country and refused to go home when he had an opportunity?
Well, I honor John McCain's character. As I said in the show, he's been one of my heroes for a long time. I like John McCain. He's been over to my house and everything. This is about qualifications to be president. That's what this is about. And, by the way, it's also a little bit about the nature of American politics today, that a comment like this can be taken out of context the way it was and create such a hullabaloo. I think we ought to get back to the campaign.
Well, but
I want to make clear where I stand on honoring men and women, and I don't care what their politics are, honoring men and women who serve our country. And I do.